there are several things that we can do from outside the country to help bring about better days for the Iranian people. First, we should make it clear to our own governments that the only alternative for the Iranian people and the rest of the world to live with is regime change. Second, we should make it clear that that change must be complete and reject the suggestion of self-serving fools like the son of the Shah and members of his clique, that people in the IRGC and the MOIS can help establish a new order in Iran, or that his connection to the corrupt regime of the Shah somehow gives him credentials for leadership in a new government. Third, we should prepare for the day when the mullahs and those who support them can be made to face justice by compiling a record by testimony and documentation of what they did. The massacres, the phony trials, the executions, so that the evidence is at hand. And finally, we should make it clear that any new order must be based on principles of democracy and equality of all men and women before the law and a non-nuclear government, principles that are outlined by Mrs. Rajavi in her 10-point plan.
You know, the resistance that is taking place now has been around a long time. And it didn't start with the mullahs and the Iranian president now and the IRGC. It started with removing another dictator, the Shah. And let me say this. You went and gave your lives to get rid of a dictator because you wanted to be free. And now some are talking about replacing that dictator with one of his family members. That is not a good idea. The resistance has a plan. It's the same plan written over 20 years ago. It's a 10-point plan. It's a declaration of independence. It's a plan where the people of Iran can determine their own destiny. Your plan is different. The 10-point plan is that to let the Iranian people control their own destiny, their own country.
And along with the MEK and the National Council of Resistance of Iran, the NCRI has galvanized the democratic movement inside and outside Iran, promoting peace, resistance, and change under the tried and true leadership of Mrs. Rajavi. Mrs. Rajavi's 10-point democratic plan for Iran's future has been embraced by so many leading Americans and statesmen around the world who have come to know and respect her. And I know, I have been with her with all of these leaders. They stand by her because she is the true leader of a democratic opposition. If she were no threat, this decrepit regime would not be spending morning, noon, and night to end her rule and to end her movement.
We are here for one reason: to reject the president of a regime that is the world's #1 state sponsor of terrorism, a regime that massacres prisoners, a regime that suppresses women and youth, the regime that is racing for nuclear weapons. But my friends here, this is not just a protest. This is also a message of hope, because there is an alternative. There is an organized resistance, and there is a leader with a vision for a free Iran, and that is Mrs. Maryam Rajavi, the president-elect of the president, Mrs. And that is Mrs. Maryam Rajavi, the president-elect of the National Council of Resistance of Iran. Her 10-point plan shows where men and women are equal and human rights are respected.
Earlier this month, tens of thousands rallied in Brussels in support of Mrs. Maryam Rajavi's progressive 10-point plan, celebrating the 60th anniversary of Iran's longest-running political movement, the Mujahideen Khalq. We stand here today outside of the United Nations, thousands more alike, echoing that same message and calling on the UN to expel the regime's representatives. They do not speak for Iran. They do not speak for Iran. We are echoing the voices of those fighting the regime in Iran, those enduring torture, those acting as an engine for change. Yes, they are the voices of Iran today.
Since 2018, there have been 9 national uprisings, 9 sparks of fire in the streets. 9 times the people of Iran have shouted, "Down with the dictator, down with the oppressor, be it the Shah or the mullahs." So today we say to the world, we demand the snapback of UN sanctions, the enforcement of Chapter 7, and urgent international action to stop the executions. We demand the world intervene to save the lives of all political prisoners. We demand that the world recognize the Iranian people's right, their inevitable right, to overthrow this regime and to build a free Iran with their own hands.
Pezeshkian can wear a suit and read prepared remarks at the UN, but he cannot scrub the blood from his regime's record. He is not the voice of Iran. The voice of Iran is in the streets, in the chants of the brave men and women in the resistance units who have been inspired by 60 years of MEK's commitment and Maryam Rajavi's vision to overcome obstacles and risk everything for freedom. Look around you. Every face here is proof that we are not alone in this fight. Everyone here have spent their lives standing for Iran, not for power, not for praise, but for dignity and for justice, for the people who've been silenced.
The current regime in Iran has no interest in a genuine peace agreement. They only seek to buy time to develop nuclear weapons. If they succeed, they will hold the world hostage and attempt to export their version of theocracy everywhere. Let us be clear, we do not call for foreign military intervention or attacks on Iran. Instead, we ask you to stand with the organized popular resistance of the Iranian people, National Council of Resistance of Iran.